Do you agree with me that most of us Christians are hypocrites? If yes, why do you say so? What has been your experience with Christians? And you as a Christian, what is something you've ever done that you think was hypocritical? Wagwan, me people, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. If you are new here, you are welcome. Kindly subscribe. If you are old here, I love you so much and thank you for the support. On this episode, we are going to talk about why some of us Christians and most of us Christians are hypocrites. I'm talking about Christians because I'm a Christian. And I can't talk about other religions because I've not had any experience with them. So let's go. Why are most of us Christians hypocrites? There is a phrase I normally say, which is Christianity is humanity. And for those of us who do not understand, it simply means that loving God is loving your neighbor. Loving your neighbor is loving God. Half of the 10 commandments, which can be found in Exodus chapter 20, tells us about the love for God, and the other half tells us about the love for our neighbors. God also tells us that whenever we fail to help his people, no matter how unimportant they may seem, we have failed to help him. This is telling us that if you truly love God, then you have to love your neighbor. Because loving your neighbor is loving God. Do you know God? Me, I've never seen God. You and I, we've never seen him. And he said he created us in his own image. So loving your neighbor next door is loving God. You don't know God. So don't boast about loving God and you are not generous to your neighbor. You don't care about your neighbor. You don't care about your family. You don't show love to people around you. That is hypocrisy. Most of us Christians are so focused on being able to quote the Bible. Or in John 3:16, it says, "For God so loved the world." Okay, after quoting that, are you practicing whatever you are reading? Are you practicing whatever you are able to quote? It's not about posting Bible verses on your status and not practicing them. That is not it. It's not about judging people. That is not Christianity. It's not about going to church every single Sunday, attending I don't even know what to say, every church program. That's not Christianity. The earlier we Christians realize that Christianity is humanity and that's the most important part, the better. Most of us Christians are used to judging people. We judge people. This person doesn't come to church. They are not Christian enough. They are not coming to church. They can't even quote verses in the Bible. They can't even do this. They can't even preach. They can't even sing. That is not the most important thing. They don't even share Bible verses on their status. That's not the important part. They are all important. But I'm trying to say that that's not the important part. If you do all these things and you do not love your neighbor is your family. Your neighbor is your friends. Your strangers you meet that need your help are your neighbors too. So if you are not able to help these people in your circle and you think singing at church is just what Christianity is about, then you are very wrong. We are so fond of judging people. The earlier we realize that working on ourselves and pointing fingers on ourselves rather than pointing it at people will help our growth, the better. We have to learn how to point fingers at ourselves. Scan through our bodies, scan through ourselves, scan through our lives. See what is going wrong and work on it. If we are able to work on ourselves individually, the world will gradually become a better place. But if we continue pointing fingers at people, this will never get solved. Because I see this mistake about you, you see this mistake about me, and each of us are not ready to work on ourselves, but we are trying to work on the other person. That is not going to work. Let's realize how important it is to make our Christianity reflect in our everyday lives. If you are a true Christian, what you read in the Bible has to reflect in your life. So if you are reading that do unto others as you want others to do unto you, and you are there insulting people anyhow, you are there backbiting, you are there hating on each other, what are you doing? Are you practicing what you are reading? So this is what I want us to realize. I'm not here to judge anyone. I am part. We are all learning. I think it's something that has to be brought to our attention, and that's why I'm discussing it today. People come to the church and it seems they have their customized seats. The particular seat they sit on every day, they want to be sitting there every day. And when they come late to church and meet someone sitting on that particular seat, they will sack them. No, who do you think you are? We all came to church to serve God. Wherever you find a seat, that's where you have to sit. You don't come to church fighting over seats and all of that. What's the importance? And by doing that, you even distract others, because when we sitting at the back realize that you are doing that, you are like, why is this man? At that moment, you've distracted a lot of us. Whatever the pastor is saying, we didn't hear. So you see, that's a sin. I wonder how some of us go to church, listen to the sermon, come home, and the grudge that we have with someone, our heart hasn't softened yet. Like, you don't feel any guilt, you don't feel anything in you don't feel your heart softened that I have to forgive this person or I have to let this thing slide. You go to church, come home, and you are still with the same rage. Like, I really wonder. Personally, usually I get ideas in church, ideas about what I do, ideas about things I discuss. When I go and I focus on the sermon, sometimes in church I get topics that I have to discuss, I get ideas, I get things like a lot of ideas about things that I'm supposed to do. It helps me to think. And if I go to church and I have a grudge with someone, by the time we close from church, my heart will soften. By the time you close from church, my heart will soften. So I always wonder how people will close from church and they'll be like, I'll go and meet this person in the house. Like, really? So was it a joke? Whatever we did in the church, was it a joke to you? We Christians are the same people that people send us to antenna. We are the same people offending people. We are the same people backbiting. We are the same people causing people to end their marriages, causing people to lose certain jobs, killing people. We are the same people who go to the various shrines. We are the same people who pick eggs to curse people. So do you realize the hypocrisy I'm talking about? I don't get it. My message is very short today. I just want us to realize that most of us are hypocrites. Let's stop judging people and start working on ourselves. Let's start focusing on ourselves. Learn how to work on yourself before you can work on others. And being a Christian is about your lifestyle. It's about how you relate with others, how you take care of your family, how you take care of your friends, how you take care of strangers you meet, how you help strangers you meet, how you go about your daily duties. If you are a boss, how you go about handling things with your employees. How do you relate with your employees? How do you relate with your co-workers? How do you relate with your colleagues? That is what Christianity is about. It's not about going to church on Sunday and you are like this, like the Holy Spirit is descending on you and you've never felt that before. You are a true Christian. That is not it. It's about how you relate with your neighbor. So let's focus on that. That is what I want you to take home today. Let's focus on that. If we realize that Christianity is humanity, the world is going to be a better place for all of us. Today you hear a story about how a friend betrayed me, how a friend snatched my boyfriend, how a friend snatched my husband, how a friend told my boss something ill about me and for that I lost my job, how a friend did this, how a family member did that. It's the same Christians. The same Christians. Those are the same people. We are the same people in churches every Sunday. They have the audacity to judge people that they didn't come to church. Who do you think you are? If God is to judge you, do you know where you'll be found? Let's come to the realization that our Christianity is truly judged by how we live our lives. and how we relate to others. Let's set example for other people. Let's not point fingers at those who you think are not coming to church, who you think are not Christians enough. Live the good life and set example for them. Most of our youth nowadays have left the church simply because of what some of us are doing. People see some of us as role models. We see other people as role models. And sometimes when you see someone as a role model, not that you have to cast all your burdens onto them, or if they are doing this, it means I cannot also do that. No, that's not it. But if someone sees you as a role model and you are going wayward, it affects them. Do you get it? So it's about how we live our lives. That's how we can influence them better. Not just about sharing the link or sharing quotations, posting verses on our status and all of that. That is what I want us to take home today. So please and please, let's try not to be hypocrites. Let's all do better to make the world a better place for all of us. Let's try to be good friends. Let's try to be good family members to our family. Let's try to be good colleagues. Okay, let's try to be good employees. Let's portray the Christianity in everything that we are doing, and that's how best people can learn. That's how best the next generation can learn, and not just about knowing quotations. Do you get it? So that's my message for you today. Kindly like, comment, subscribe, share, and turn on your post notifications so that whenever I post, you get notified. Kindly share the videos to your loved ones so that we can all learn. Okay, so we meet again. It's what? Bye bye.